Being an art major is pretty easy, but it's pretty hard. At least we only have to take one math class. Hey yo, it's Shortcake. I know it's been a while. Do you notice anything new about myself? What do you think I look like? Strawberry. Say strawberry. Strawberry. That's right, a strawberry. Shortcake. So I just graduated from university, and I'm finally free. A bit too free. I can now spend my time just making silly videos for y'all. So please subscribe and hit the bell button. Please, I need it. I need your subscription. Anyway, I graduated without any portfolio or internship under my belt. I can't apply to any art or animation jobs without a portfolio. So was attending university to study art even worth it? Let's start from the beginning. I was 18 in my senior year of high school, having no idea what to pursue in life except something maybe related to art, cause it do be the only thing I'm good at, since the community college nearby offers a program where I can attend classes for free for 2 years. I signed right up, and I did pretty good. I got mostly A's and only got like 2 C's, and my high GPA made me automatically eligible for a public university. Classes in my community college are actually pretty helpful. Dang cup. It taught us the very basics of making art. Drawing 101, painting 101, 2D design, 3D design, and life drawing are the 5 primary studio art requirements for the art majors. As someone who started art by just drawing whatever I wanted as a kid, I didn't learn the basics. Learning the basics of drawing in a professional and structured manner, such as college, really helped to solidify the rules of art into my little brain. Another thing was learning how to properly use professional art materials. When I did my Drawing 101 class for the first time, I was so shocked that we had to spend at least $100 on art supplies. I knew that I can make pretty cool looking art with whatever cheap materials I had laying around, so it makes no sense why we needed to spend so much money on some expensive art supplies. Until I used these expensive art supplies. High quality art supplies can never compare to the crappy Crayola pencils I used back then. Also the paper. I never knew that pencils can be applied on paper so smoothly and easily. I loved using charcoal and textured paper. I'm super spoiled when it comes to art supplies now. But I still do like to make silly doodles with random pens I stole from hotels. Ballpoint pens are pretty nice to draw with. Wait. I just realized, are we allowed to take the pens from hotels? Meh. Painting 101 with oil paints was pretty interesting. We made some paintings using color theory. However, I'll never use oil paints ever again. It's pretty messy because I got oil and turpentine everywhere. Since the pandemic started halfway during this class, I had to stay in my tiny room to paint, and I had nowhere to dispose of it properly. Not to mention the fumes. 3D design was where I made some squiggly wire art and a plaster mold of the Shortcake profile. In Life Drawing 101, it meant that we had to draw the human figure, bits and all. Though since it was also during the pandemic, I didn't get to see any naked people in real life. Before you have any thoughts, this is to draw is for practicing the human anatomy so I can get better at drawing. You got that? Okay? Okay? Good. So, after 2 years, I applied and got accepted to my dream university. It was my dream because it was the closest to my hometown, it had the cheapest tuition out of all the universities in California, and it had an animation major. There's also so many cool animation related classes, and professors and guest speakers who worked in the industry, and many successful alumni too. And no, it's none of the cool art schools like Cal Arts, Otis, Art Institute, or Laguna College of the Arts. It's just a public CSU. And one where it's pretty easy to get in. It's not famous or prestigious, but I still think it's cool. For the first semester at my university, I was able to get into one online art class. I got to formally learn the principles of animation, and we got to animate our characters. This one class was the most influential to me. Since it was fully online, I got to meet some cool and talented artists. Because of this class, I was also given an opportunity to help animate at a volunteer-run indie studio. It was pretty cool. In the next semesters, my classes feel so professional. It felt like attending an actual art school. All my digital art courses had these giant Wacom tablets. They are so huge that I could only see part of the projection board. Too bad I never actually drew on them though, because you had to buy your own stylus or walk a mile to the library just to rent one for a few hours. In the first semester at university, I took Intro to 3D Animation, Intro to 3D Modeling, and Perspective Geology, though I did withdraw from that class. It was too much math for me. 3D Animation? 3D Modeling? This is different from the 2D stuff you usually do. Yeah, I did some research about 3D, and it turns out that 3D animators are more in demand than 2D, especially since 3D is needed for industry-level games and film. They get paid way more too. I didn't really like modeling in 3D, but animating in 3D seemed okay. Animating do be hard though. It was impossible for me to get the walk cycle right. It always looked so off. This was also the time I applied for the Grand Portfolio, which is necessary to get into the 2D animation major and the 3D animation major. I didn't know what I really wanted, so I applied to both. Oh, and keep in mind, this portfolio is not easy. I know it's only for an unpopular public university, but it's not uncommon for people's portfolios to be rejected. Anyway, not to brag, but I got approved for both majors. Now I really had to choose. It took a while, but I ended up choosing the 3D animation major because I want that 3D money and make my parents proud. Now for the third semester, I hopped onto 3 yummy advanced classes right away. I took 3D environment modeling, 3D rigging, and since a bit of 2D won't hurt, pre-production animation. I hated it. 3D rigging was okay because the professor is really specific in the steps they taught to make sure everyone is on track. But it was basically 5 hours straight rigging with a few 10-minute breaks sprinkled in. Pre-production animation was pretty scary and my social anxiety was killing me. I skipped the first several weeks of class because I knew we had to present our ideas for our stories. But I'm not for that. I struggle with explaining myself on the spot without any script or visual aid. I'm a visual explainer. Who needs a PowerPoint to sell my point? At least the professor was very kind. They even brought in a lot of cool guests from the industry. We got to make character designs, storyboards, and an animatic. Though to be fair, I already do these things on my own with YouTube. 3D environmental modeling. Oh boy, I hated this class. I was so terrible at it. Not only that I forgot how to make UVs, we had to learn 2 new programs other than Maya. The programs were Unreal Engine and Substance Painter. I did so horribly, while my other classmates are literal professionals at 3D. They made whole new worlds, so detailed and beautiful. I think they practiced a bit on their own before taking this class. I felt so behind in terms of skill level, and I hated having to model and texture. This class was the breaking point that pushed me to change my major back to the original studio art. It's crazy, considering I've been waiting to be part of the university's animation program for years. But I gave up. I am really disappointed in myself. It feels so embarrassing telling people that I have a studio art major. So, what did you major in? Art? Oh. Art? What a useless major. Back when I was an animation major, people were more impressed. I'm in university.
That's great. What do you major in?
I'm majoring in Bachelor's of Art in 3D Animation.
Amazing. You're gonna be rich. Let me know when you're working at Disney.
But now, they all seem let down. I'm a disappointment. But you know what? My choice of major is not for other people. It's for me. I didn't enjoy doing 3D modeling, and I wish I realized that sooner, because that's basically the whole program I signed up for. There's only 2 animation classes and the rest are 3D modeling related. Had I carried on with this major, I would have continued doing this for 2 more years. I had to cut things short. And I'm glad I did. I finished up the rest of my studio art requirements. It was really stressful because I got sick and was absent for the first few weeks, which made me question dropping out several times. I had no idea what to do in my classes. After all, when you're absent for even a day in college, it's like being absent for a whole month. It takes time to catch up in all your classes. But you know what I did? I stuck through it, and what helped me is reminding myself that it was the last in-person semester. Just one more and I'm set free. It sucked, but in the end, I got some pretty nice prizes. Behold! The shortcake sculpture. It was made using a wireframe armature bulked up with aluminum foil. Then, I covered it in polymer clay, baked it, and painted it. It was worth it for real. I also took a glass casting class, which is definitely one of the scariest classes I ever attended because I had no idea what was going on 90% of the time. But I survived, and I made a cute little alligator next to some rocks, which is meant to represent my nostalgia nostalgic childhood memories at a beach near my hometown. For my other glass project, I made a glass bowl with the colors of foamy pea. Blech. I also finally took an actual in-person life drawing class. I never saw naked people in real life before, so I definitely wasn't ready for it. And in class, everyone else seemed so nonchalant about it. They all seemed so chill, but I felt so awkward. It was a good experience nonetheless. I felt my anatomy and drawing skills improved tenfold from that class. I do recommend taking a life drawing class if you're an artist. After a couple of months, I graduated in the summer and got my Bachelor's of Arts in Studio Art. It wasn't what I was originally aiming for, but that's okay because majors don't define me. What I do next is what defines me. Currently, I am unemployed, a NEET if you will, but with discipline and hard work, I hope to become a YouTube animator, or at least an artist. I mean, it's way better than staying as a NEET who's been playing video games all day. Wish me luck on my journey and subscribe to my channel for more silly videos. Thanks for watching, see ya!